hello. God, I love using direct monitor on my my recording setup. It's so satisfying because I can hear myself talk in real time. I think that's how people do ASMR, right? Because if you can't hear your voice, you have no idea, I guess, the effect that your vocal cords are having on your microphone, your input device, if you will. But now I can hear the deep, rich, rumbling tones of my own voice. It doesn't sound as good when I actually try to make my voice deep and rumbly, though. How unfortunate. Alright. So I need to get a release out pretty quick, which is why I'm doing this. Also, I am kind of exhausted. I kind of know why I feel exhausted. But that doesn't change the fact that I feel exhausted. Alright. Hold on, I need to recenter my camera really quick. My physical webcam. Alright, there we go. Hello. Welcome one, welcome all to the stream. I think this feels like it might be a very lonely stream today. But it's okay. Let's get cracking. Let's also turn down my thermostat. It's warm. It's actually not that warm, but you know how it do. We're gonna work on a few things today. So if I can cut a release of OpenCFace GD, then we'll move over to trying to, I guess, get a new release of, or I guess not a new release, but trying to rebase VSS off of this, which would be cool. And then if that is good enough, then we'll probably move on to trying to create a Twitch bot, but you know, everything in time. Everything in time. So let's look at my list of things I need to do. All right, we need to check for eye clamps, which sounds somewhat dubious, not gonna lie. However, it's not weird, I swear. So I actually don't really know what I want to do here, right? Because the easy solution, and actually I should take these out. Actually, where am I in terms of this program? It's been a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean it's been like 2 days, which is a pretty long time in my world. Pretty long time in my world. Git restore assets and then entities. I don't know what changed here. Oh, hello, Run. So you know that duck icon someone made for OpenCFace GD? I think that should just be used for VSS. I can't come up with anything good. I liked your that one icon. I mean, I like the idea of it. I think that the first draft is a little sus, but I think the vibe you were going for, I liked it. I liked it. Well, I'll consider it. I'll need to ask. I'll need to ask. Also, I do need to give you credit, Ren, in I guess the VSS credits for the name. I do like the name VSS. Did you know that VSS, it's not taken by it's not taken by very many other tech projects. I think it's like a Visual Studio Solution is one of the things it can stand for, but I think if you look at VSS projects, it's actually just like an EDM thing, I think. Whatever this is on Insta. Actually, this is not an EDM thing at all. I looked at like one of these and I was like, that's totally EDM, dude. No, this is some sort of vape thing. It's a good idea. I can't rearrange it in a way I like. Yeah. Just give it some time. It'll come to you eventually. Like all good inspiration does. Probably while you're on the toilet as well. That's where I have all my best ideas. So I'm getting ready to cut a new release though, as mentioned a million times before. Although there's a few things that need to be fixed. One is some models just don't have, I guess, maximum values for looking left to right, up, down, which is very strange. I thought that was a standard thing, but I guess some models just don't have values. Like they have the animation defined, but they don't have a value for it. Which, just bizarre. IMO. So what I'm thinking is, oh, and also I need to do one of these checks. So check if the resources directory even exists, because as someone in the Discord was saying, or they noticed, is that if they remove the binary from the, I guess, the intended directory, it'll cause the application to segfault, which is something you absolutely do not want to happen. This model can look up how far? Yes. It can look up all of the way. So I think this should be pretty easy though, because we can just run this once when we're loading. So we'll do, I need to see both parts of it actually. So this is the clamp value. I feel I need to have a better word for the eye clamps. Eye clamps just has a very weird energy to it. Very what's a clockwork orange? That's not really an eye clamp, is it? I guess it's clamping it up, but yeah. But once I fix these two things, that's a new release. So hopefully I can fix this in one stream, and then I can be satisfied with myself, and then I can move on to slightly more fun things, like adding a new tracking backend to VSS, because I have an idea for how to do, I guess, camera-less tracking. I mean, it does rely on a keylogger, but that's okay. But I really like the idea. I don't know why I keep doing this. Like in this project, or this group of projects specifically, I just like doing like really weird off the wall kind of things. Like for example, generating a UI dynamically using an XML file. Very weird, but I like doing it. Where I wrote my own test harness. Also very strange. Alright, so I think I need to... Yeah, actually, if I just check for every single one of these. So I do left eye up, left eye... I don't like it, but we're doing it. So if left eye... Wait... Hold on. Yes, this is fine. Left eye up dot x is equal to 0. So what we're gonna do is I'll allow for pretty much all values. So if just one of your values is 0, I'll allow it. Or pretty much I'll allow. What am I trying to say? So you can have a 0 value for like you can have asymmetrical eyes if you want. I think that's the idea. So if I'm not checking for just one or both values, but if you want to have infinite rotation and you built that like intentionally into your model, I guess that's cool. I guess that's cool. Will equal, I don't know, probably like negative this amount. I have no idea how this will work. I should probably test this a bit more. This is up x, right? And then we have the y value. And then we need to do the same for the right eye. So this is left eye right dot y is equal to 0. And left eye right dot y is now equal to negative 360 float. And then left eye left. I'm trying to cross-reference between these two things. But seeing the word left and right so many times is really, really confusing me. Left y is equal to 360, 0, one of these. And then we'll just need to do the same for the right eye. So just copy and paste. Anyways, if you're still here, Ren, how has your day been? My day has been okay. Thanks for asking. I failed an exam. A professional exam, so my employer paid for it, but still, it's 4 hours of my life I can never get back. Ugh. And I was actually so close to passing at first try. Ugh. Would it have helped my career at all? No, not really. But it's just another certification, and for, you know, some reason, you know, people really seem to want me to get more certifications, even though I have the most certifications for my pay grade. Blue period manga is so good. That sounds kind of gross. Blue period. Any relation to any waffles? Possibly. Is that a recent one? Is this one I can search up on my other monitor here? Blue period. Please don't be a hentai. Could still be a hentai. Looks a bit sus. Cross-dressing. Excuse me? In his second to last year of high school, the dispassionate but studious Yatora Yaguchi finally finds a calling in art. With no prior art experience, he decides to work towards applying to an arts university, a decision with potentially disastrous results. Themes, cross-dressing. It's a side character that cross-dresses? Yeah, okay, sure. I'm sure it is. I'm on to you. I know you weebs are into that kind of stuff. No, that's okay. I too have watched ReZero. Right? The ReZero is the one with has the. I guess they're not. Are they a cross-dresser? That one cat person. What's their name? Like I liked the idea of ReZero, but I hated the main character so much. Like that series. Well, I hated the main character, and then like everyone's Felix. Yeah. It's like I like the idea of the series, but the main character, hate him. And then also, I guess like the ending to Rem's story, I also dislike that, even though everyone seems to really like it. Maybe that's just a me thing though. Maybe that's just a me thing. Alright, so VRM model, that's probably solved. So if you do not have these values defined, then they'll just come as 0. And if they are zeroed, then I guess I'll just allow you to rotate your eyes infinitely, which should be pretty cool. EMC is an interesting case for how dying multiple times would affect you. Yeah, I thought that was interesting. However, I don't know. And you know, having memories with people they don't share. Yeah, I thought that part was really cool. But it's like It's like the same opinion I have about Your Lie in April. Have you watched that? Where they just spend too much time on it. It's like, please respect my time. I don't want to watch, like, you know, main protagonists just be cringe for like half the series. Like, let them be cringe for like the first like maybe 2 episodes, and then let's move on. I understand. They're not based. They're cringe. I get it. Alright. I think we're almost done, actually. And then I just need to turn off my face tracker and then actually do it. Too familiar? Yeah, it's too familiar. It's too real. Not everyone can be as based as me. That's why I hate it when I see my see it in anime. No, I think I definitely was like very, very, you know, as they say, very cringe when I was a bit younger. I think I had a lot less self-confidence. So we need the GUI file parser. Yeah, when I had a lot less confidence in myself, that was it was a bad time, right? However, I think the big turning point was when, you know, I just kind of realized that, one, nobody really knows what I'm talking about, but as long as I maintain an air of knowing what I'm talking about, people usually just take me at my word, so it allows me to project ideas with more confidence. Something like that. There's a better way to phrase that, but you know how it do be. You know how it do sometimes. Basically, when you speak without confidence, people can tell. Which is why, I don't know. In my earlier years, I used to be really self-conscious about that. But then it was just like, what if I just don't care? And then people started being like, wow, you're so smart now. Or like, that sounded really smart, but I had no idea what you're talking about. I was like, yeah, sounds good to me. Directory exists. Hold on. World is divided between based and cringe. Just do better. Yeah, just be more confident, forehead. Have you? Let me share what this is my boomer moment. I have certain tweets just saved on my Twitter because they're really good. I'm a big fan of this one. Look at this. Is there a way for me to just pin this somewhere? Let me just slap this here. We can work on the code here. Let's see, directory exists, so I need to get the var. This is the GUI resource path. Hey, what up, duck? Duck. Hello, null. I'm doing alright, thank you for asking. I'm actually I'm actually really tired. I failed a certification exam today, so that was pretty good. Wasted my time doing that. Always a good feeling. Did almost pass it first try, but you know, life comes at you quick. App manager. Is that Florka Cows? True. Florka Cows based. Who is Florka Cows? Oh, you know Florka Cows. Wait, you were able to you were able to recognize it? What the heck? You are totally correct. It is Florka Cows. What the heck? Is this a Zoomer thing? Is this a Zoomer thing? I didn't realize this is a... What the heck? This is blowing my mind. I didn't even have them like this name on screen. That's crazy. Are they known for their Zoomer takes? Hold on. Oh, they just do this art style. Oh. Okay, they're just known for this art style. Okay, I didn't know that. Interesting. Now that I'm actually scrolling through the tweets, it all makes sense. Late millennial, early zoomer. I'm a late millennial. Although I do tend to have more boomer takes than zoomer takes. On that scale. Also they funny. Tago. Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. Very scary. Does not exist. Please check your installation. Something like that. And then true. And then we just want to return early. Because we don't want a seg fault, because that happened last time. So let's see. GUI resource path. So 100%. We want to check if this exists, otherwise we'll seg faults. So null check, or else we seg fault. Awesome. Pre 2008 Gen Z is better than post 2008 Gen Z. I don't know. Gen Z are Zoomers, right? What's the one after Zoomers? Isn't it? It's millennials are like 90s, late 80s. Alpha? I think there'd be Gen Alpha. Oh, so there's gonna be betas at some points. My favorite kind of fish. I had a beta fish when I was a lot younger. Yeah, my parents didn't realize, so they got my brothers and I like beta fish, but they didn't realize that beta fish really like to fight, so they put them in like separate, like split aquariums. And I think it was my little brother's beta fish just killed itself by trying to like fight the other beta fish. Yeah, but I guess generation beta would be like 2020s. So we already are having generation beta. Alright, so I'm gonna turn off my face tracker just so we can see if it'll work. Send it. Goodbye. Oh, jeez. Does not exist. Please check your installation. Please. No. Oh, it's because it actually just failed. Okay. GUI resource path. Something nice happened today. I tried on a script for the first time. Are you do you identify as not a guy, or are you actually just not a guy? I always assumed I don't know if this is a weird take or not, but I just kind of assume that everyone on the internet is a dude. Resources GUI model XML does not exist. Hold on. Resources GUI model XML. Did I spell it wrong? Gender fluid bio male. Oh, okay. Interesting. Oh, this is a directory. If not, file exists. You know what? It should be what do I generate as the base path? Default metadata. Yeah. Oh, I need to go here, not here. What am I doing? So this needs to switch this back. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I wasn't paying attention. Gender fluid. Well, you know what? This is more or less a safe space. I don't really see gender, which is why I treat everyone the same. Everyone is dude. Or they. That's one of the things I do try to make a conscious effort to do. Everyone is they. Well, you use the gender neutral they. And unfortunately the gender neutral dude as well, because dudette is just too many syllables. Let's see. I think it's this one. So do this, and then we need to do base path. Yeah, base path is either going to be this, resources GUI, or whatever. Okay, cool. So this is the null check that we want to have. And then after that, we don't care. All right, let's try it one more time. Please work. Aha. And then we can start tracking using the debug stuff. Looks fine to me. Load in a model. Let's see. Oh, I guess speaking about gender fluid. Oh no. Hopefully it's not a hot take. And fortunately for you, it's not a hot take. Or fortunately for us as well. Me included. So there was actually someone from my high school who were, I guess, they were bio-female, but they identified as a guy. And so when we went to university, something I was not expecting to see was that they had actually joined a fraternity. I was like, wow, that's actually surprisingly progressive, considering that fraternities are generally like hyper masculine. But I suppose that might be why they joined. I've never really looked into the reasons why, but I was like, wow, that's neat. Considering that, one, hyper masculine, and two, I went to school in the South. At not the most progressive university either. All right, I mean, this looks okay. I think all that's needed after this is to do one more button. Or I think there's a few things I need to do. One, I need to find a model that doesn't have like correct eye clamp values, so that I can actually test if this eye clamp thing works. Or I guess it's like an eye clamp workaround for VRM models. So this part here, yeah. So let me add a note to myself to, so some models don't have, I guess, blend shapes for looking up, down, left, right. So let their eyes rotate like 360 degrees. 360 degrees. Yeah. Or I guess just apply the like the raw tracking data to it, more or less. All right, hold on. I started my face tracker again. Match title, otherwise, something is wrong here. It's matched on the the wrong window. Hold on, where is it? Hold on. It's matched on the wrong window. That's very weird. But I don't want to close it. Get out! See, look, it's still tracking this window for some reason. That's strange. Why are you like this? So it's running, right? This is the window that should be tracking. OBS, why are you so difficult? See, it says that it's tracking the right thing. Let's see, Explorer, go back. There we go, I just needed to toggle it. I do need to make that integration at some point with my little stream tool so that I can modify OBS things in a more sensible fashion, more programmatic way. I'm not a big fan of clicking through menus. However, when you're trying to work with technical tooling that you have no idea how to use, and it's also for like an exam, hint what I was doing today, that's where the UIs really come into handy. Come in handy, not come into handy. Gross. Alright, I think this is fine. You know what? Let's send it and then just hope it's good enough. So get status. Don't really know what's going on with this thing. So get diff entities basic models. Basic models. Oh, it's just the line endings. Okay, cool. Git status, git add all, git commit. Let's see. Add null check for resources directory. And then also check for missing iClamps. Alright, there we go. Cool, cool, cool. Let's do one more thing. I keep delaying releasing a new build of this. But there's so many things to do and not enough time. See, I think it's kind of cool how there's somebody has offered to try to implement a new tracking backend. That is one of the problems with, I suppose, open source software, right? Or just software development in general. Is that what's the word I'm looking for? Software developers are only interested in developing new features, right? But stabilizing things, fixing bugs, that's something that a lot of people hate doing, right? Are these not the right template, by the way? What is this? Hey. Are these wrong, by the way? When was this edited? This doesn't look right. Huh? I thought I compiled new release templates somewhat recently, didn't I? I guess we'll see, right? So this is Godot release template Windows. Let's see. I'm a little nervous. We can peek at it. Let's see. When was this compiled? This is compiled 8/15. So this should be. Oh yeah, this is 3.4. I just did not change the name of it for some reason. Am I stupid? Don't answer that. That's interesting though. That's interesting. I don't need this release template. I already have a release template, I think. I just need the Linux one. And so let's get ready to cut a new release. Yeah, but I think the project needs is people to fix bugs or just report more bugs. And I guess report bugs in a reproducible way, which is tough. Because what tends to happen with reporting bugs is that people say like, this doesn't work. How does it not work? How do you reproduce? I don't know, it just doesn't work. I don't know how to, this doesn't help me at all. You know, sometimes when I try to wake up, it doesn't work, but you know, we need to be a bit more specific as to why it's not working. You know, is it not working because of, you know, human error, which very plausible, especially because I have not released too many instructions on how to make this work. Especially when you're developing. The development workflow 100% is pretty jank, unfortunately. That's something I would like to fix one of these days, but not today. Yeah, because like a lot of software developers, not a huge fan of writing documentation, especially when I'm the only developer. If there was another developer who could write documentation, or I guess not write documentation, but do like the actual development, then I'm all in on writing documentation. Writing skills off the chart. That's pretty much the only thing I'm willing to really brag about in terms of like a specific skill set. Yeah, because I think in terms of specific skill sets, I'm not too good at too many things, honestly. Oh, this is a really old file. No, this is 8. Why did I call it this? That's very weird. I've made a huge mistake in my naming scheme for some reason. Look at that. Oh my god. This file is huge. It's half a gig. That's crazy. Let's get this off the screen. My shame and my naming conventions. I could have sworn I changed the name of it, but maybe not. Perhaps not. So let's see. I think the last thing we need to do is implement a dropdown. So a dropdown with options. I need to think about how I want that to happen though. That's actually going to be pretty tough now I'm thinking about it. Dropdown with options. You know what? Goodbye, dropdown. I think we're just going to cut a new release. We're just going to cut a new release. Yeah. Because gotta be very careful not to, you know, give in to scope creep. There's a million things that need to be done, but I only have a finite amount of time. So things that we're pushing for the next release, which will probably be the 1.0 release, right? Is one going to be VRM expressions. So expressions are these things here. So we can load the preset. Break my neck. So this model has happy expression, sad expression, angry expression, etc. And so something that I would like to do is make that, I guess, accessible from within the application, as opposed to having to go in, create your own Godot text scene file, and then load it in somehow. That would be tough. Diff. Something happened here, but I don't know what. Git restore assets. There we go. So let's just go ahead and cut a new release. Let's cut a new release. We'll call this what's the current release on GitHub? I believe it's 6060, I should say. Isn't that kind of weird? When you're talking about numbers in English, you would generally tend to say O when you're talking about like the very last zero in a sequence. Yeah. But maybe that's just me. Or if there's zeros in a sequence, you'll say 00 dump, you know, 005.0, you know. Even though when you actually mean .0, not .o. What a weird incongruency. Anyways. Export the project. Ooh, probably should stop doing this right now. Well, that's fine, because the program's already loaded into memory. As long as I don't try to restart the program, I think it should be fine. Let's add a Linux X11, whatever. Export selected resources, and let's cut a new release for Linux as well. I don't have any Mac OS builds because I don't have an Intel Mac. All I have is the kind of weird ARM Mac. Big fan. Alright, so we'll export everything. Get rid of GIF getter. Get rid of... I guess we want to export Alicia. Don't I export Alicia for Windows as well? I'm trying to remember. You know what? Probably just gonna export everything. I don't remember. Send it. Oh, we do need to export JSON files, I think. So this is xml.txt. Oh, .xm. Or star.xml. Star.json. Features, don't need it. Compiled bytecode should be fine. Export the project for Linux X11. You know what? Let's create a new folder so that we don't have releases just in the same folder. So this is Linux. Save. Wait for it. It takes a little bit. Takes a little bit. Ooh, please don't crash Godot. I can see it. It's thinking about it. It's thinking about it. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. There we go. Okay, no crashes. Gotta love it. Alright, so Linux, and let's create just a Windows, whatever. We'll export it one more time. Should be pretty easy. Then we'll go into this folder here. Not this one. Is it this one? Yeah, it's this one. Now we need to copy... Well, let's copy resources first, right? So this is the kind of like the changing folder, right? Resources, we don't bundle it into the pack file because resources contains things that I guess should be user accessible. So things like the GUI, you can also just load in your own scripts at runtime. So in theory that works. I don't know why you would ever want that to happen, but I have added the ability for scripts to just load in at runtime. It's not a multiplayer game, so whatever. And then we do have a GUI. Wait, I already said that. Licenses, and then the translations, which is just English for now. I should probably send out a request for like translators. I could try to translate things myself, but I think my understanding of language is sketchy to say the least. Or as some may say, sus. Let's grab all of these, drop these into the Windows export. It'll take a little bit since OpenC base is a really large file to copy. Alright, there we go. Go back to Linux. Linux has a pack, very nice. Unfortunately, probably not going to test this on my Linux box. Alright, so now let's cut a new release, I guess. Add to windows.zip. Look at that. So I think that should be pretty good. Probably. So this is OpenC face GD Windows, and then this is version 7. There we go. And then Linux is similar. We'll 7-zip it into just a regular zip file. Look at this. Total size 0.7 gigabytes. Ugh. Look at this. It's hitting a point where it can't really compress things anymore. Hitting too many binary files. Look at that. Compress size. It's still like a quarter of a gig. Oh man. You love to see that. It's huge. Yeah, and then after this, I'll probably cut a new release for, or I'll pull VSS, which is the successor to this program. And then I guess we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. Actually, no, I'm thinking about it right now. I feel like the Windows export might be bugged. Hold on. Because I'm looking at, there's a temp file here. I'm not sure what this is. That looks suspect. And you know that I believe that because I didn't say sus. GD Linux. This is 7, yeah. Okay. So let's test this really quick. Let's turn off this. Turn off tracking. We'll grab the Windows binary. Bring it to apps. Let's extract it to the appropriate folder. And that was just copied, so we don't care. Windows. Look at that. Everything is in order, I think. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's probably fine. Cool. Alright. I think I feel good enough to upload these and then also tag a new release. So let's go to OpenCPHGD. These are our exports. These are our 2 releases that we've cut. I think if someone wants to, you know, contribute a Mac build, I'd be happy to add one of those as well. But unfortunately, as mentioned many times before, as I'm trying to fill dead air, don't have the appropriate Mac. Alright, OpenCFace. Whatever this is. So let's cut in a release here. Let's do it so everyone can see. Share with the class. Look at this. So OpenCFace GD version 070. So I'm following semantic versioning. I don't like to use the V in the tag though. Not a huge fan of doing the V in the tag. Let's see. OpenCFace GD. One of these. This is gonna look very official. I actually don't remember what the biggest changes from the last thing are, since I don't keep very good track of it. What changed? This actually still needs to be fixed, but I'm not going to. Camera selector is now in progress, more or less. Let's see. OpenCFace GD version 070, or as people who may or may not speak Queen's English might say, not 7 not. I think that's something that got me a few times when I was talking to people who were educated in or learned how to speak like British English. You don't say 0 or O, you say not. So OpenCFace. This one will do. What changed? The UI has been completely rewritten to be more responsive. Sounds good. And then what else? UI has been completely written to be more responsive. Oh no, let's just do it like this. Just make a bulleted list. Everyone loves bulleted lists. UI has been completely rewritten to be more responsive. Various tracking bugs have been squashed. I mean, that's pretty much it, right? Yeah, UI completely rewritten, various tracking bugs. I don't know. Facial tracked bones, interpolation. Okay. Interpolation added for VRM facial movements. Let's see. Running OpenCFace, the tracker, should work out of the box on Linux and Mac. It sounds better to say Mac and Linux, but you know. I think that's fine. Let's send it. Copy all of these over. 2 things, and then I guess we'll cut a new release, and then maybe we can post to Reddit. We can post to Reddit and hopefully try to get some traction. But wait, that means I need to stop streaming. Or no, I can start recording while I'm streaming, right? Is that something that you can do? I'm actually not sure. I think I would need to completely mute all my audio. Should work though. Uploading a release now. Excuse me. While we're at it, let's go to that's is VSS, which is actually what we wanted. Let's see. No, wait, hold on. No, I just want to change branches. What am I doing? Git checkout master. Let's go to the VSS repository. Or actually, not even the VSS repository, right? We need to go to the OpenCFace repository. Git add remote. We'll call it OSFGD. This one. Hey, git remote add. Git remote. This one, and then we'll just do like a basic git pull. Okay. And so let's do a git rebase OSFGD master. Hey, is this not how you do it? I'm trying to remember. How do you rebase off a different remote? I'm not great at this kind of stuff. There we go. Look at that. We cut a new release. Feels pretty good. Hopefully fixed a few bugs. If not, we'll have to do a hotfix, but that's what semantic versioning is for. Let's hit it with an all. Alright, is it called a here? Or is it everyone? Does everyone work? Okay, so you can do here or everyone. So here. Let's see, new release of. Oh, okay, and also I forgot to start running my face tracker again. Let's just start running it. Should be fine. Start the tracker. Look at that. Now we're a duck again. And now we're an anime girl. Just rotate your head around. There we go. Here we go. New release of CFace. Dropped. Hold on. Change this really quick. There we go. OBS, stop getting confused. It must be an exact match. Although I guess the Windows Explorer is an exact match, unfortunately. Version, whatever this is, 07. Or no, it's version 0.7.0 of OpenCFace. Just release. Let's hit it with a bunch of these. Look at this. Balls. Hello. Are you perchance a dog? Are you into chasing balls? How are you doing, National Needle Mouse? Just working on, well, I just cut a new release of this application. So version 0.7.0 is out. Hopefully fixes a bunch of new bugs. Yeah, not fixes new bugs, fixes old bugs, and all that other good stuff. And also, I do need to add this to the description. Let's see. So I do have just Windows and Linux builds available. This time, for the first time in a while, I finally released a Linux and Windows build concurrently, as opposed to just the Windows and then having someone bug me about the Linux one for a while, which is fair enough, you know. I do know that the reason why people like this project, or they're attracted to the project, is that it does work on both Windows and Linux. Added XAA and let's see, added FXAA, add ability to toggle transparent background off. Toggle the transparent background off. There we go. Update the release. Beautiful. Patch notes. Are located on the release page. Please report any new bugs. Thank you. Alright, cool. So now, I've managed to not spend the entire stream banging my head on just one thing. And also, if you want to check out the release for yourself, it should just work. I don't know. Should be pretty easy. All you need to do is extract the zip file. Don't move any of the files, and then run it. And as long as you have a webcam, it should just work. You know, trademark, copyright, etc. It's getting cold in here, man. You know, ever since I've started, you know, learning Japanese, Google has now been sending me like articles in Japanese just to read, and it's like, I don't know if Google thinks I'm Japanese or if Google like knows that I'm trying to learn how to read Japanese. But, like, I can't read any of these articles because they're all technical. There's like, you know, Kubernetes, but like in Japanese. Yeah, that's cool, I guess. I don't know what they're talking about. What if I move the files? Then it won't work. Well, it might work, I don't know. Depends on which files you move. Right. So the files must be in roughly this format. So you'll have your exe, you'll have your .pack file, then you'll have your resources and OpenCFace folder. As long as those are in the same folder, so this one, OpenCFace folder, resources, OpenCFace GD, and OpenCFace GD pack, then it should just work. Then you can just place whatever else you want into the directory. But if you don't, it's possible you might seg faults, which is bad for your system. But what if I move them? I don't know. You know, I'm not a space wizard, not a mind reader. I don't know what you're doing, but just know that is not my fault. Although, I should note that I have been testing this pretty extensively on my own system, so should be fine, hopefully. How do I rebase a repository off of different remotes? Git rebase off of remote. Remote fork repo, yes. How do I do this? In your local clone of your whatever. Let's see. Oh, this is how you do it. Okay. Git rebase, OSFGD. Master one of these. Ah! Oh, add upstream? Is that how that works? No. No, this should work. Git fetch. Oh, git fetch. Don't just git pull. Git fetch OSFGD, which is, of course, the current repository. We get all this stuff. How nice. There's a new tag, but we don't care. Make sure that we're on master. Git rebase OSFGD. So this is VSS, which is the, I guess, the next generation of this software. So OpenCFace, if you can kind of guess by the name, uses the OpenCFace face tracker for all the tracking. The idea behind VSS is that there's multiple possible tracking backends. So the ones that I'm interested in implementing are, who is this? The ones that I'm interested in implementing are MediaPipe, which is a Google utility. Very, very complicated, basically magic in how it works. and then also just mouse tracking. So it's more or less like a keylogger. So your model will just kind of look at your mouse, more or less. Been learning Blender 779. What's Blender 779? Blender's only on 2.9, isn't it? Yeah, Blender's only on like what does my Blender install on? Did you mean Blender 2.79? Blender should be on, it's like yeah, Blender's on 2.9, 2.90. Yeah? Unless you're just running your own version of Blender. Alright, are we successfully rebased? Hey. Oh no, please don't. I just mean it's an older version. Yeah, I think you mean, yeah, 2.79. But that's a really old version. Yeah, 2.79. That's pretty old. Didn't they added a lot of new features into, like, when they hit 2.80. Alright, you know what? I think I made a huge mistake here. How do you get reset? Is it just get reset hard? Yeah. Get reset head. Hard. Where am I at? Ooh, I don't know what I'm doing. And you know what I do when I don't know what I'm doing? I just delete the entire directory. And we'll just pull it again. Git clone. Yeah. This is how we do it in the business. I like the interface of 2.79. I'm a beginner, I might learn 2.79 and move up versions one by one. Isn't it? What do you mean? If you're a beginner, you should try to learn off the most recent one. Right? I think it makes sense if you're like, if you're a pro, right? You're an expert in one style of user interface, then it makes sense to stay on an older version. But if you know, if you're just learning, you should try to use the most recent one. Right, because the old version isn't going to get any more updates. Right? So when you're fresh and new to it, that's when you should start learning the new stuff. Oh, hello, Knock. How are you doing today? Add OSFGD. Git fetch OSFGD. Oh, hello, insect. Lol. Yome, how are you? Oh, so guess what? I received a successfully passed my I guess the interview. Whatevers. After 4 rounds of interviews, got an offer, got lowballed, tried to play hardball with them, got shut down. So I'm still probably going to take it and just keep it like on the side as a second job. So then I'll have, I guess, more or less 3 revenue streams. Ugh. So that'll be fun, I guess. Git rebase, OSFGD, master. But what I've done on stream so far is I've cut a new release. You might have seen the Discord notification of OpenCPageGD 0.7.0, which adds a lot of bug fixes plus the new UI. The new UI still needs a bit of work, but you know, I don't know anything. I'm very bad at UI design. This is the best I'm probably going to be able to do. But right now, what I'm trying to do is trying to rebase VSS, which is the new thing. Also, check it out. Have you seen this now? is beautiful, aka it's absolutely horrible. This is just based off of my actual website, because I don't like uploading big Node.js projects. But I've reserved the name, so I do. I've reserved the name, and this is my actual website. I don't mind the no support, at least if it gets the job done and good tutorials are for the version, then I think it'll be fine. Yeah, I guess. The problem with learning something when you know, as someone who doesn't know it too well, right? If you don't have a lot of experience and you're learning off a really old version, you're, I guess just handicapping yourself for whatever reason, right? I don't know. Unless the tutorials that you have for Blender 2.79 are really, really good, it shouldn't be too hard for you to just adapt those tutorials to like Blender 2.90, right? But yeah, saw the request for devs. Yeah, it's a kind of a weird request though, because most devs, because like, right, 2.93, yeah. What's the Blender version I have? Like, I know how to use Blender past 2.8s. Like, most of the things I find are for like before Blender 2.8s, but you can still try to figure it out, right? You're free to do whatever you want, Needle Mouse, but you know, I think it's just kind of ill-advised to learn off of an older version or to use an older version, especially when you're not experienced. Like, if you want to use an older version, you should just use like Blender 2.92, not the latest release. Because the old tutorials will never get updated. 2.93 is an LTS version, so they intend to support it for a long time. Oh baby. LTS. Just like Unity LTS versions, am I right? Alright, so these have diverged. I don't know, get push force. Send it. I'm the admin, I can do what I want. Failed to push some refs to, cannot force push this protected branch. Alright. I'm the admin, I can force push if I want. Yeah, I like the interface of recent versions, but I prefer 2.79. I might upgrade in the future. That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, but you know, you are the master of your own destiny. I think just something to remember is that choosing to stay on an old version also precludes you from complaining about the program. So, I guess if you're okay with that, then that's cool, I guess. Anyways, branch protection rules, how difficult. Allow force pushes for users with push access. Alright, well I'm about to force push to it. Get rebased. Look at that, it's beautiful. Okay. I like the feel to it. There's some cons, but I mostly enjoy it. Force pushing, playing dangerously, I see. Well, you know, it's fine. Yeah, I am trying to work with this person, Korewa Chino, who is doing IFM supports. You know, kind of mentioned this earlier on stream, but it's like, when you're trying to get devs to work on a project, the hardest part is getting devs who want to, I guess, fix bugs. Everyone just wants to work on new features. But adding new features adds more bugs. But they already did a lot of work, so I was I was kind of pushed into accelerating my timeline on this. Let's see. This one has some conflicts. So let's check out this one, tracking data interface. So git check out tracking data interface. Git rebase master. Okay, so now we need to rebase. My favorite part. Oh yeah, I think something else that happened today, Knock, is that, well, besides the job offer, is that I took an exam and then almost passed first try, but I didn't pass. Therefore, that's 4 hours of my life I'll never get back. If you wanna more bug fixes, you should lower the barrier, add a contributing markdown, and stress new features will be scrutinized. Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to say, right? I think most people who are looking into doing this kind of stuff aren't technical in the first place, so it's tough. It's not really like a piece of software that like programmers would use, right? It's mostly just like bug reports. If you want more bug fixes, just make more bugs. It'll get popular. I suppose that is big brain. More bug fixes. Yes, if you create more bugs, there are more bugs to fix. I suppose that's true. I don't know if that's a great strategy though, but you know, I don't make the rules. Let's see. I'm just doing some cleanup. I'm pretty tired, but yeah, the test, I took a certification exam because, you know, being the consultant with the most certifications in my pay grade is apparently not enough. So I need to get more. Why is life so hard? Both modified, VRM. Let's see, entities, VRM. What is your problem? Godot tools, enable for workspace, will connect. Where are we diverged? Oh geez. So this is the current change. This is the incoming change? What do you mean? This isn't the incoming change. Accept incoming change, I guess. Wait. Yeah, look at Sonic Colors Ultimate. Sonic Colors Ultimate for Switch, I think, was a different situation altogether, where the porting team just chose Godot because they wanted to use it as a graphical front end, which I have actually experimented with before, so it is possible. Yeah, but which cert? It's a piece of software called Satellite, so it's for, I guess, managing many, I guess, OS installs on either bare metal or virtual boxes. So it's kind of cool. It's actually fairly neat. Actually fairly neat. Right, I think you told me about it before. Yeah, it's kind of a Red Hat specific tool, but so it goes. Git add entities. VRM model. Git rebase continue. Yeah, I think you need to get at least a 66% in order to pass the exam. And I think I got like well, I'm trying to do the math. I got about a 60. I think, yeah. Really quick mental maths. That's a 60. I needed a 66, so I was very close. But the exam was really easy, except for like the last bit, which was the actual practical bit. Well, technically the entire exam is the practical bit. But the last part of the exam really screwed me. Don't do this, by the way. Git rebase continue. This is the rebase. Yes. A lot of people complain about them fixing the seizure glitch first and not the other glitches, which is dumb because they didn't fix it quickly. They would have gotten into some legal trouble. I don't know if they would have gotten into legal trouble unless they didn't have the epilepsy warning. Do they have an epilepsy warning in the description? I'm not familiar with the whole drama around Sonic Colors Ultimate for Switch. Yeah, it's not Godot's best outing for sure. It could be a lot worse. Alright. How have these diverged? I rebased correctly, didn't I? What's the difference? Is there a way to compare the diff from the the remote? Otherwise, I'm just about to force push to this. What are my logs? Tracking data, blah blah blah, add interfaces. Oh, you know what? It's because I rebased. Alright, goodbye. Get pushed. Get push, force. And then now I just need to rebase one more time. Not the funnest of things to do. Yeah, but I don't know. I haven't really played a Sonic game in a really long time. Oh, IFM is based off of tracking data interface? Why? Why would you not base it off of what? I'm confused. I didn't notice this. This is based off this is merging into tracking data interface, not into master. How weird. I mean, the game wasn't supposed to have it. It was glitches with the game. I don't know how the game even got past into publishing. I figure it's a lack of playtesting. Yeah, I mean, they did pass it into like a third-party porting house. Well, I suppose the entire thing was just handled by third-party porters, right? Isn't that every Sonic game? I think it is every Sonic. A lot of the modern Sonic games tend to be pretty sus in terms of their QA control. Ever since the big meme game Sonic 07. Which is tough. You know, as mentioned before, I do like to watch video essays for whatever reason. Oh no, okay. Git status. Project.Godot. Project.Godot. What's the difference? Who wrote this? We don't want to have this. Oh my god. Git add project Godot. Lazy learning, you don't retain what's not to love. Yeah. What was I talking about that prompted that? Oh, the video essays, yeah. Yeah, I like it. It is true. I don't know. It makes it. It's the same reason why I like listening to like documentaries like in the background. Like I watched like World War II in color like twice, but I remember almost nothing from it. Except that like there was a lot more Japanese resistance in like Southeast Asia than I was taught in school. Or like I guess the fights in I guess just South Asia with India and Burma. It was pretty intense, more intense than I was taught. That's pretty much all I kind of remember from that. Is, oh, okay. That was actually a bigger theater than was originally whatever. Sonic 06. Oh, it's Sonic 06, not Sonic 07. I don't do numbers, man. Project Godot. Hello? What changed? Don't save. Sonic 06 was basically rushed. That was for his 15th anniversary, and 15 years later it's come again. Oh baby. What happened? I think this is resolved. There's nothing to change here. Am I crazy? Get diff. Who wrote this? Yeah, I think I saw the thing about Sonic 06 though, for sure. I watched there's a Super Bunny Hop video about the first level in every mainline Sonic game that I thought was actually fairly informative. Which is like the first level in most Sonic games are the best levels. Except Sonic 06, which is really bad. But I guess it's still the best out of a bad game, I guess. If I watch it with my full attention, I still retain nothing. So does that make me? I don't know. Probably makes you... I'm trying to think of a joke and not an insult. But all that's coming to mind are insults. So I will pretend I did not see your comments. Stupid is the word you're looking for. Well, okay, well, you know, you said it, not me. Why isn't my rebase working though? I would like to check. I can't deny. VS Code, why are you like this? Did I miss something just by accident? Just delete all of this. Beautiful. Git add project Godot. Rebase, continue. Yeah, TBH, I love the 3D models in the game. The 3D models in Sonic 06 or Sonic Colors Ultimate? Which ones are we talking about? Alright, something fun happened to me. I was in my first earthquake, 5.9. Just this one number off from a truly fun earthquake. I'm assuming you're okay considering that you're tuning into the stream. Or are you actually in like an emergency shelter right now, trying to get your mind off the wanton destruction around you by tuning into the stream. Sonic 06? I've never played Sonic 06, so I can't comment. Yeah, my leg is gone, it's fine. Yeah, okay. On the plus side, you can get a pretty sick prosthetic leg. Man, that would be cool. Maybe one of those hydraulically powered ones. Maybe the ones with AI. Ooh. You lockdown. Yeah. Yeah, I was seeing on Reddit the lockdown counter protest. Now those are crazy, man. Those are crazy. Those are crazy. Alright, you know what? I probably should not force push their branch. I was considering, but what if I just force push their branch? Git branch modify IFM rebased. Git push u origin IFM rebased. Yeah, there we go. Okay. The 3D models are good and the music bangs. I don't know. I've played what's the Sonic game that has like you play in a team of 3 and you can switch between them all? I thought that was pretty fun. I've only played like through half of it. Because I think there was one time I went to the dentist. And you know they had like the full unlocked game there, so I just spent like like 2 hours just playing through the game through one of the routes, and then my mom like eventually like made her way back there and was like, Tim, what the heck are you doing? I was like, I don't know. I thought you were gonna come and get me, so I just sat here and played this game for like 2 hours. Now, that game was a fun one. I hear it gets a lot worse though. Alright, so Let's see. Yeah, there's a lot of nut jobs. Pretty much everyone is against them. No support from media or government. Yeesh. Sonic Heroes. Yeah, now that was a fun game. Sonic Heroes. Or at least the first part of it. Whatever part I played of it was pretty fun. Alright. I need to... IFM rebased. So I'll just ping this person on Discord really quick. So at Korewa Chino, rebased your branch off of OpenCFace GD master. I don't know, the stream was lagging. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to keep an eye on the stream. Because for some reason, sometimes I just drop like a bunch of frames. I want to say it was OBS's fault, but now I have specifically tagged my server region to be US East Atlanta, Georgia, which is, of course, my hometown. Yeah. Yeah. But talking about the lockdown protest though, Knock. I think I was seeing that it wasn't like a lockdown protest, but it was more like an anti-vax protest, which is crazy. Very weird IMO. It's weird how, you know, required vaccinations and I guess just pandemic has driven out all the crazies in society. So it turns out more people are anti-science, or I guess anti-intellectual, than I previously realized. It's very strange. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not anti-vax. You know, it's like, it's weird. Like, people who are anti-vax also tend to be like, like they, from what I've seen from anti-vax, I'm switching between anti and anti-vax people. It's like, sure, you're anti-vax, sure, but you're also like a heavy drug user? Question mark. So like. You'll inject random substances into your body, but not the one that will keep you alive? Question mark? I don't know. Anyways, guess what? I'm the administrator. We're merging it. Since this looks pretty good. So let's see, I do need to answer these questions, but I'll answer them later. Or there's Pog, and quick question, when 2D sprite avatars are implemented, will they have to make them in live 2D or will there be other options? Let's see, let's answer this live on stream. Yeah, it's hard to understand how their mind works. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I suppose there's some justification. It's like the government wants to control you somehow, but it's like, I don't know, man. The government already controls you anyways, or the corporation already controls you. I don't think they need to like inject anything into your arm. Like your argument only has basis if you also do not have a smartphone or use a computer in any way. In which case, sure. At least you're logically consistent, which I can respect. So, quick question, when 2D sprite-based avatars are implemented, will you have to make them in live 2D or will there be other options? So most likely, live 2D will be the first implementation, since it's the most popular. I have some ideas for other alternative implementations though. Yeah, people actually believe that if they actually believes that, that there are far more important things to fight for. Police brutality, removal of social services, fighting against capitalist lobbying. If they wanted freedom, they would support the left. Yeah. Well, They don't want freedom. What they want is everything to stay the same, right? You know, people are... I guess I somewhat understand where they're coming from, is that change is scary. But I think the more that you try to keep things the same, the more that... the more you try to keep things the same, the more things will change, because... guess what? You can't change. You can't stop progress. Things will just continue to change. I don't know if that made sense or not, but I'm gonna hope it did. Anyways, are you ready for some Rust code knock? Because guess what? We're gonna start writing some Rust really quick. Git check out master. So hello, git. What's the diff? Git restore. Project.Godot. Git check out master. Git pull. Alright, there we go. Let's do Rust. Have you read the book yet? I have not. Nope, not at all. But we're doing it anyways. Make directory Rust. So we'll go into Rust. Let's hit it with a cargo and init. So what we're doing now, pivot. I'll consider it. I'll consider it. Maybe next time. But here's the idea though, right? Is that this program here, which I use for like keylogging myself, in order to move this sprite around, even though this window is not in focus, because usually you would not be able to do this, right? So the idea is, what if face tracking backend, if you did not want to use a face tracker, you could just have the model kind of like be controlled by where your mouse is on the screen. Yeah, mouse tracking. Well, it's a mouse tracker and keylogger at the same time, unfortunately. Because the only mouse tracking libraries I could find for Rust in my quick like 5-minute search were also keyloggers. So if it has the potential to be a keylogger, it's pretty much a keylogger. But I think that's an interesting idea that I want to pursue. So git check out branch mouse tracking. That's not true. Windows is a keylogger in that case. Well, I think it depends on which level. How far down do you want to go in terms of like what counts as a keylogger, right? Is any program that has focus a keylogger? Technically, I guess, right? I think, is git bash a keylogger because it's listening to my keystrokes? Technically, I guess. Does it log keys? Technically. It does store the result of whatever command in my bash history, so technically. So if we tail like the last 3 keystrokes of home.bash history, there we go. You have to false. You have to enter. Yeah, I guess. I suppose it keylogs only after you press enter. How about that? Only after you press enter does it actually keylog you. Does that still make you a keylogger? I don't know. I mean, let's try to get our definitions in order. What defines a keylogger? No, it doesn't. I don't know. I mean, it sounds like a keylogger to me, but you know, I'm not a scientist or whatever. Let's see. Let's go into Rust. Our cargo toml. We do need to enable Rust for this part. Probably want to make this separate, maybe? I'm not sure. Logging all keys you press, hence keylogger. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I suppose that makes sense. You know what? Okay, that makes sense. This is VSS. And then we'll just grab all of these things. There we go. You win this time, Knock. Next time, you may not be so lucky. I wonder if I should just break this off into an entirely separate repository, because I know that some people do get kind of weirded out. Prepared. Prepare your butts. So the difference between there's actually two key logging kind of things here. Sadly, I'm poor and cannot afford a Live 2D license. I'm hoping for an open source solution. If you can make it, use an open source file format, I may even make one out of spite. So there's Inochi 2D, which is in development. I have some ideas for my own format, which might be pretty jank. Yeah. Is this in VSS? Yes. So any additional tracking backends will pretty much like entirely be in VSS. So, because unfortunately, I did not think about when I was making the project initially, I did not consider that I might want to add additional tracking backends. But I also do not want to rename the repository, even though it might help a little bit with the initial, I guess, boost, right? Because you already have all the stars. But I think the easy solution would be to just point the original OpenSea face repository to VSS. Because if I change this name, it breaks SEO, right? I don't know. I'm still between it. I can still move it back if I want, but you know, there's already some SEO for this application, so if I just modify the README and be like, hey, check out this project instead, which, you know, this project is only going to get bug fixes after I hit 1.0. Everything else, all the new fancy stuff will be here. So that was the idea. I'm not sure if it's worth it though. I'm not sure. Could be, might not be. Anyways, there's mouse tracking Rust. Okay, I think that'll work, plus fancy website. Yeah. Dark theme. I already use a dark theme. What is this? Fusion mouse? This is Rust? Oh baby. Oh, this. Oh, someone made something that I was already working on before. Somewhat, but this uses a dedicated eye tracker. Anyways. Google added dark mode? Yeah, but I already have dark mode using Dark Reader. I don't need their fancy solution. Oh, Enigo. Rust. So, Enigo works on, I believe, Windows and... Oh, actually, no, there's... Yeah, if I remember correctly, Enigo does not expose Linux, or it does not expose like mouse position at all, whereas Mouse RS does. Mouse RS, Rust. Oh, relevant. Not like people who use dark mode haven't had a dark mode for years or anything. Yeah. I think, isn't there like, there's a flag that you can add to your, I guess, Chrome start sequence to kind of force dark mode anyways? But, you know, at least they're getting there, right? They're getting there. Let's see. Oh, it supports Mac OS. I don't remember if it supports Mac OS mouse position though. Device query. You know what? Could be it. Could be it. Let's look at this thing. Updated August 11th. The query mouse and keyboard inputs on demand without a window. Interesting. Device state. Oh, you know what? That might be even better. Oh, and I have it starred. So I have seen it before. I think I have AnyGo starred. I think I have Mouse RS starred, and I have Device Query starred. Very good. Well done. Thank you. Thank you. Does it have... Is it on Docs R? Is it on Crates RS? Device Query Rust. Device Query Rust. Or I mean, is it on Crates IO? Okay, it is on Crates IO. Cool. All right, welcome to the team, Device Query. Let's see if we can use Zio instead. And then let's see if we can also get Rust support working here. Is it not gonna work? I did enable Rust, didn't I? Hello? Oh, I need to open up main.rs first. All right, send it. Okay. So this will just work then? Okay, cool. So in Friendly Potato Stream, this is actually what I have here. Oh, and this is gonna throw an error because I don't have a librs. Librs. I don't know, just grab all this. We'll figure it out later. So GD native, that's probably pretty good. Here, I think we want... Well, we can keep it like that. Device query. Device state. So device query. Use device query. It was like device state, right? What the heck? And so we just want to get your mouse position. So this is your mouse reader. It's a reference. How easy. Let's get rid of mouse RS for now. Let's see. So this is no longer valid. This is now your... What is this? This is device state. So just call it state. Maybe just device. That feels good. And then this will be some sort of device state. Okay. Comment this out. So our device is now device state. Probably just default, right? New. Looks good. And then we just have like a really, really simple get mouse position function. So let's... Oh, actually, no, this should be mouse state, right? So we need two of these, device state and mouse state. So this needs to be the mouse state. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. Now that I'm thinking about it, right? It probably is. Because I guess your mouse state wouldn't need to be refreshed. Unless you take out your mouse and then plug it back in. Would that still work? Like, see, what I'm kind of thinking is, if you just get the device state, like you initialize device states, can I just get this implicitly like this as well, by the way? Get mouse. I guess you can't do that. Device state. Can you not method chain like this? Yeah, but what happens to your device state, right? So if you take out your mouse and then plug it back in, is it still the same device? Or would you need to get a new reference to it? Get mouse the current state. It doesn't update? Oh, okay, interesting. Clearly not reading, by the way. Let mouse state equal self device get hello get mouse. So this should be the device that we had, get mouse, but this apparently does not exist on it, question mark. So structs device states query pointer. How did you get that? Yeah, apparently I have to read for you. Reading's hard, man. I sight read an exam. I basically looked up what Red Hat Satellite was, and then Just ran with it. So it's new, gives you a device state. Is this a different state? Mouse state, device state, get mouse. Only works in What? Alright. I have read it once and I'm still a little confused. So this is the device state struct. Yes. It shouldn't matter though. Not in current scope. Method is available for device query device state. What? Here? Items from traits can only be used if the trait is in scope. Is it not in scope? Question mark. Device query? Oh, I need to bring this into device query. Hello? No? Import device query? Yeah, okay. Yeah. No, I read that. Don't worry, I read the error message. I'm doing it. Mouse state. And then, what does this give me, by the way? Device query, get mouse, mouse state. Chords is a tuple of I32 to I32. That sounds right. And then we can pass it as a hello, mouse state. What is your problem? Device query, mouse state. Available fields are chords. Okay, so chords. And get the first item out of the tuple, and then this one is mouse state. Well, I started making the change as soon as you typed it. I swear. I didn't cheat. You gotta believe me, Professor. Have I cheated on an exam before? Maybe. Depends on how far the statute of limitations reaches back. Oh, hello. Hello, Philippe. Thank you very much, Kalame321, for the raid. You seen you got raided? I just did. Welcome, welcome. What I was working on previously was this. I actually just cut a new release of this application. Oh, this looks really bright for some reason. I don't know why. Cut a new release of this. This is a renderer for VRM models hooked up to a face tracker, all written in Godot. So the new release is just this one with the new UI and stuff, and also the ability to use transparent background, FXAA, which makes things, you know, anti-aliased or not. Yeah. But yeah. What I'm working on right now is actually a new tracking backend. So if you don't have a camera, you can just use your mouse, which will be pretty cool. Now I'm here, because that's how Razor's supposed to work. Philippe is pretty awesome. Big fan of Philippe. Oh, hey Philippe. By the way, as to your queries from very long ago, I have successfully conquered the job interview, so have an offer just sitting on the table. We'll probably take it, which means I'll be busier in the future. Yeah. Look, I got new. Oh, look. Very nice. Kind of a scary stabby emote. What are you gonna do? Stab me? Said the stabbing victim. Okay, so I think this will work, right? So let's hit it with a cargo build. Let's just optimize it. Who cares? And thank you, it looks nice. So what, I wish I still had the hype emote. What's the hype emote? Is that like one of does someone just have a good hype emote? Is that the one with like the Pepe the Frog, the animated one? What is this? Komodo hype? Oh, that's a Komodo dragon. I was confused. I was like, why is it Komodo hype? But it looks like a clam, an open clam. I had an hype emote of my own. Mason 32 hype. Ooh. Look at that. Maybe I should get a hype emote. Encourage more people to subscribe just for the emotes. Alright, so what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna integrate. I need to write an integration class for Godot so that Godot knows how to read in this stuff. So luckily I've already done this once before, not too difficult. All I need to do is go into the Godot editor. It's very green. Go into Rust. Let's see, new resource, and we'll make this a GD native library. Like that. You guys should check out Mason, VTuber and Godot dev. Hey, that's me. I guess I'm not like a real VTuber, but I just work on VTuber stuff. Yeah. I know Mason woke up sometimes to his stream coming through in raid. Gotta follow him. Is he does he stream in US hours, or is he like at a other side of the world hours? How are you not a VTuber? I don't know. I mean, this isn't actually my model. I just work on the associated technology. You know, I think if you're like a VTuber, you would need to be like a, I don't know, like don't VTubers need to like debut or something? All that kind of fancy stuff that I don't really care for myself. Let's do touch target.gd ignore, just so Godot doesn't try to import everything from it. He's from New Zealand. He's a Kiwi. Often left off the maps. Let's see, release vss.dll. There we go. That's probably just gonna be our catch-all, or my catch-all at least, for all the Rust stuff. And I might just put this on like a completely separate repository. So like this is like super plugin based, but let's see where it goes for now. So how did I do this for the streaming tool? So the streaming tool, this worked by, oh, just loading in like the native script. Okay, interesting. So resource, or let's add a new script. This needs to be native script. This is a reference. Invalid class name. Oh geez, what did I call it? Mouse reader, right? Mouse reader. Plugin support. Technically there's already plugin support, right? Technically there's already plugin support, because actually I haven't really advertised this too much, but in the current release of OpenCPHGD, I actually include just an example. I forgot to take this out, and I'm probably not going to take it out now. But you are just able to load in random GD script files at runtime. If you, as long as you load them in your model.xml, Godot will load in the scripts and then try to execute it by calling the setup function. So technically there's already plugin support. What about native code? I'm not sure. As long as your native code uses an absolute path, I think it'll work. Right, so how does native script stuff look inside of I guess Godot? So once we figure that out, yeah, I guess as long as these things refer to, oh, this is actually incomplete right now. Hold on. Native script, this needs to refer to the library. There we go. So, yeah. So as long as you don't use a res path, with the try, I guess it is DLL on Windows. Yeah. Yeah, as long as you don't use the res path and you instead use the absolute path, or I think you can also use a relative path and it should still work. But if you want to do plugins, you cannot use this res thingy. Otherwise, Godot won't know how to find it. Yeah, and so you can see that the problem here is that for pretty much everything, Godot likes to use a resource path, not a relative path or an absolute path. So I think if I wanted to like have true plugin support, I would need to create like an external utility to convert resource paths to either relative or absolute paths. Or some way, I guess, to like repack the Godot pack file. But you know, as with a lot of things, there's ways around it. There's ways around it. Alright, so what I'm thinking I'm going to do... Okay, I need to take off. Take care. Thanks for hanging out, Knock. Appreciate the support, as always. Take it easy. So let's see. I think for utils, we want to make a... I do want to do some restructuring here. I don't want to just have all the tracking stuff just be in the utils folder. Although it might be nice. I don't know. We'll do like a little bit of restructuring somewhat. It will break the other person's code though, but sacrifices need to be made. So this is tracking, trackers, maybe just tracking. Yeah, let's do this for now. So we'll just make like a new tracking folder, or trackers. I feel like if you saw tracking in a Git repository, you might be a little weirded out. Let's see, OpenCFaceGD. I think this is actually a reference now. Yeah, extends tracking backend. Tracking backend is just a node. Okay, that's fair enough. So trackers, let's add a node. This is going to be... Actually, no, we don't want to add it here. Let's separate them all by by node, or by folders, I guess. So this is mouse tracking, mouse tracker. So mouse tracker. Keep a consistent naming scheme for all of this. We'll go into trackers, mouse tracker, one of these, and then have this extend tracking backend. So this is going to be structured. Look at that. And then all we need to do from here is implement the interface, right? So the interface that I need to implement here is tracking backend, which is one of these. So just grab all of these, all these functions. So Godot GD script does not have true interfaces, which is why we need to kind of do this kind of weird hack, but it should work. It works in almost the same way, but instead of just throwing an error on compilation, it'll just give you garbage data, which is more or less good enough in my opinion. So, is listening. This actually does not really need to be running on a thread, I think. But we can still do it. OpenCFaceGD. Alright, so this is the kind of reference implementation that I've been basing everything off of. And I think the other like iFacial mocap thing that Korewa Chino is working on is also based off of this kind of super kind of scuffed code. How nice. So, do one of these. Just connect to this signal. do exit tree. Always nice to have one of these. And then we'll just call stop receiver. Yeah, I think we're just going to run it on a thread, I think. It's just easier that way. And so we need to have all of these. Why not? At the top, this is going to be one of the cleanest classes so far because I actually know what I'm doing now. So on start tracker, one of these. And so on start tracker, all we're going to do is probably just like every process frame, right? We'll listen for mouse input, which you can kind of see here. All we need to do is create a new one of these, a mouse reader, and this is a Rust library, and then we just get your mouse position. Should just work. And then based off of your mouse position on, I guess, your current screen, it will just, you know, rotate the anime model to look at the mouse. So, you know, this is the idea. So when the mouse is in the center of the screen, like you can see here, model looks just at the mouse. Then when you go here, the model looks up here. It'll be impossible to do any sort of kind of eye control, right? Because I don't I don't have enough data from just your mouse position in order to kind of rotate your eyes around. But I think something like that would be kind of cool. I'm trying to demonstrate by just jerking my head all around, you know? So let's do it. Let's do it. So get data. It's easy enough. We can just define the data as a class here, as an inner class. So this is class mouse tracker data extends tracking data, right? And then tracking data, all that needs to do is implement all of these. Huzzah! Kind of a pain, but it's necessary so that I can like make a lot of assumptions as to what kind of data is being passed in. So updated time, I think that should be pretty easy. We just need to keep like a running count of the time it's been running, and then it should just work. Fit error, probably fit error will be where do I even use fit error, by the way? Or what do I compare it against? I'm trying to remember. It's one of these things here. If tracking get fit error is greater than get max fit error. Okay, so I don't know how this would ever be different, so let's just call this 0. You know, there is no tracking fit error for a mouse backend. Let's see, get rotation, yep, translation, so there is no translation. So we can leave this actually as a vector 3, 0. Raw quaternion, maybe unused, still maybe unused, I'm not sure about this one. And then all of these, just impossible for me to actually define. You know, left eye gaze, I have no data for that. Yeah. Should be pretty easy, considering that I'm just zeroing out most of these values. There's really only the model rotation. But I think on the plus side, this does make it ultra portable. Also, there's almost no way for me to tell how open your mouth is with just mouse data. And then additional info, there's really only mouse data. So let's see. I think the one piece of data that we need to store in this class is, well, one is the time. That's a good one. And then just the, I guess the points. So I guess var mouse position. And so this mouse tracker data, we create a new one every single time that we, I guess, pull for input. Should be pretty easy. So mouse position will be some sort of vector 2. And then we always need to set it before we actually access or send over the new mouse tracker data. Not too hard though. Let's see. This is just time, so I do need to remember to update the time every single time. Get it? Fit error, get rotation. So the rotation is a bit difficult because I need to think about that, right? Because all I have is a screen position. So what if we do... We can get your current viewports. We can get your current... I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Is it... Yeah, something like this. I actually have my current code for this pulled up on the side. So this is what I'm looking at. This thing right here. So we can store the screen size, the viewport size, and the scale factor. And this is pretty much all I'm doing is I'm just copying this code, but I need to make it work inside the framework of this piece of software, which is always the hard part. So, but I've done it once, so it shouldn't be too hard. The only problem is get rotation. So let's copy all of this over. Not too bad. Yeah, there we go. So we have your screen size, your viewport size, and your scale factor. On start tracker, I'm not sure if I want to actually start on a thread. Now I'm thinking about it seriously. Does it make sense to start this on a thread? Like perform reception while not stop reception. I guess let's keep the same API for now. It's not the greatest, but while not stop, please, I can't type anymore. Stop reception. While not stop reception, we'll do a thing. What was that? That was a really weird bit of lag there. But here we go. Last position, mouse position. Yeah, we're gonna keep all of this stuff. Why not? So this is all kind of stolen from my own code, so it's not copying. Or it's not stealing if I wrote it. Oh, and then we do need to have one of these. So connect to multiple things. So this one, if you do change your screen size, we do need to change like your kind of scale factor. Otherwise you'll have kind of weird interactions, I guess. Viewport size changed. Oh, and then we need to change pretty much all of this, right? So screen size is equal to OS get screen size. I don't really care about your monitor. I'm going to assume I think I do have to make an assumption about which monitor you're using. Unless I want to create like a completely separate API for like each tracking backend, but we'll think about that when the time comes. So on start tracker, where do I do all of this? So there's a UDP receiver somewhere. I just don't remember where I put it. Start receiver. Okay. So this is our receive thread. So on start tracker, we want to call start receiver. Yeah, okay. So start tracker, this is really easy. Just call start receiver. Easy. So start receiver, all this does is it does receive thread is equal to a thread new. Create a new thread that will run in parallel to the main application, right? Receive thread, start self, and then perform reception. Easy, easy, easy. All right, so we're halfway there. is listening. Still just copying my code. Stop receiver. Okay. I think I just need this part. Yeah. Max fit error? I don't know. Just 100. It doesn't make sense to have a max fit error for mouse tracking. And then get data. This one will be... I don't know, actually. OpenSea data. So perform reception. Let me think about this. So inside of here, we have some Rust code. This is the mouse reader.godot native script. And let's go back to my first implementation, which was this one. So mouse reader, bum bum bum. So var, this is my mouse reader, just equal to load whatever this is. Create a new one because it's a reference. Right, so now this is equivalent to this script, but now it's present in my GD script code. And then I just need to copy this. Yeah, oh no. That's tough. What do I use the last position to? That's just the wiggle distance, but I don't need like wiggle distance. Yeah, so I just need to store your mouse position. Yeah. So your mouse position is equal to, one of these mouse position is equal to mouse reader dot get mouse position. You might be saying, no, you can't just reuse the code, but actually this part is more or less copied from that as well, with a few tweaks to work on more OSs. AKA I'm just using a different library. I'm no longer using mouse RS, I'm now using device query, which hopefully should work on all three major OSs, Windows, Mac, and Linux. Not sure though. I know mouse RS works on Windows and Linux. Doesn't work on Mac, but you know, we don't worry about that too often. Or we don't worry about that too much. All right, so how am I doing this? Perform reception. How am I setting the time? I guess we can just do this. So phase tracker RPS, we don't need that. Var time, or running time. Make that a float, initialize to 0. This is a bit weird. So running time plus equals, I think it's just 1. Maybe 0.01, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the value is, right? Then what we'll do is tracking data. Where do I store tracking data? Who wrote this? Tracking data. Okay. Var data, which, okay, so this data needs to be mouse tracker data. Currently is equal to nothing right now, but we can always just, you know, hit with one of these. Initialize it with null values, I guess. Maybe not. Just keep it like this. Then data will equal mouse tracker data dot new, and then we'll set the data mouse position is equal to mouse pause, and then data dot time is equal to running time. All right, this is exciting because I think this will work. And then just return data whenever we ask for more data. This is what it'll give me. And then we do need to implement get rotation. I don't think get raw quaternion is really used. We can take out this part though. So based off of... Oh, the mouse position needs to be scaled, by the way. Now I'm remembering now, yeah. So based off of this code, we do need to, yeah, manipulate this part here. So times the scale factor. And then I need to get the angle between the screen midpoints. Yeah, I need to get the angle between this position and the screen midpoint, right? Because what I'm going for is this. So you can kind of see my mouse here. So it's in the middle. The model will look at the middle. But when you start moving out and then farther out, it'll increase the rotation. That's the idea. So when you are relatively close to the middle, but kind of go a little off, the model will look like that. But when you go way off to the corners, the model will look like, will turn farther and farther. That's the idea. You know what? I'll be right back. My drink is dry. BRB. Hello, I'm back. So there is the screen size and then the viewport size, and that's the scale factor. Then I also need to get your, just like your midpoints. Is there a way for me to get your window size? Otherwise, that's really tough. Actually, no. What does OS screen size give me? It gives me, returns the dimensions in pixels of the specified screen. If screen is -1, the current screen will be used, which I think should be fine. Okay. Wait. I think that means, oh, it means I don't even need to use the scale factor, right? I can just use the raw value that I get from get mouse position. Okay. Let's take this out for now. And let's also take this part out for now. So we don't use the scale factor at all. I just need to do a few things. Right, one of them is I need to get your, I guess, the rotation amount. So I don't think I need to store your mouse position here. Yeah. I think what I should do is directly calculate the rotation amount here. Right? So this is your mouse position, sure. And then we can do kind of correlate this with your screen size. So there's like the rotation amounts. So there's like the rotation direction and then the rotation amounts, if that makes sense. So we do I'm thinking. I'm thinking. This is tough. So you have, let's just start typing like I usually do. So this is like, I guess like, we'll call it distance for now. And this will be your mouse position. Or maybe like, it'll be your screen size. screen size divided by 2. So that's the middle of your screen midpoint, right? Distance to... Oh, I can get your distance and your direction too, right? Oh, and I can also get your angle too, right? Yeah, okay, so this is nice. Okay, hold on. So you have your screen size divided by 2. So this is like your screen middle, right? So it's gonna break this. So this is your screen middle. Distance to your mouse position, right? So that's kind of your rotation strength. And then now I need to get the angle, right? So this is screen middle, angle to mouse position, right? And then how do I turn that into one of these? A get rotation. So a rotation needs to be a vector 3. Hold on. Something's buzzing. I don't really know. So there's like a loud buzzing sound in my apartment, but I'm not sure what that is. Hopefully it's not a gas leak. I'm pretty sure it's not a gas leak, so I don't have gas in my home. Let's see. Rotation. How did I... So this just gives me a rotation, right? And then when I apply it to any basic model... I actually don't even do any of this stuff. I just call move head, and then this rotation rotates everything by an X, Y, and Z position. So is there a way for me to convert a vector to... Oh, that's tough. Now I'm thinking about it. Yeah, that's tough, yeah. So I could use See, what I'm thinking, right, is since I have a vector 2 of the angle, right? So I can just pass in that vector 2 for the rotation X and then rotation Y. And then maybe for the, or no, rotation X and rotation Z. Angle up. Wait, no. Hold on. So when you rotate around the right axis, that's up and down. Rotating around the up axis is left and right. Around the back axis is this one. that's your roll. So this is your roll. This is your, I don't know, what are they called? There's an actual name for these rotation vectors, but I don't remember. I need to convert these two values into a vector 3. So, what if I were to do... Oh man, there's a lot of math in this one, now I'm thinking about it. So let's draw it out. So given a point, so say that this is your midpoint, right? This is your midpoint. And then this is where the mouse is. This is where our mouse is. I'll make it a red. So we get the angle and then the distance to this point. And so that kind of takes care of our X and Y point, but now I need to give it depth. And then so you need to imagine that the farther out this gets, the closer our Z axis gets. Wait, no, that doesn't make any sense. the stronger our z-axis gets. Does that make sense? And then we need to invert it? It's like the... No. Yes. Right? Yeah, so we use our raw x and y values here, but then the farther out this gets, the more we need to imagine that this z value moves towards us. Right, so we have kind of an imaginary z-axis here. So the farther out this gets, you know, this would be here, but here, this would just be shorter. Something like that, right? Right? And then we can draw the nice dotted lines down to... That's not how you do dotted lines. Erase this. Something like this. So just go straight down to here, but then this goes farther, way farther down out. Right? That's the idea. Okay. And then after that, I can yeah. So from this, I can construct a vector 3. So, wait. So I don't need the angle then? Yeah, I don't need the angle. I just need the difference between the mouse position and the screen middle. So let's say this is our vector, some sort of vector 3, right? And so we'll construct a vector 3 from the, we'll call this the difference, right? So this is the screen middle. Wait, no, this is your mouse position minus your screen middle. So this will be a vector 2, just so that I can kind of see it clearly labeled. And this will have your x and y values. So this is diff x, diff y. And now the hard part is figuring out what this last part is. Actually, no, it's not. It's just the distance. There we go. Beautiful. Probably. You think that'll work? Let's give it a shot. Wait, so then this is not your mouse position, this is just your rotation, I guess. Raw rotation, which is some sort of vector 3. And so here, this one will just be return rotate. Not double return, just one return rotation. Right, and then here in perform reception, so this works off of a thread. I guess we can still keep mouse position, it doesn't matter. This one though, rotation is equal to the vec, and of course we do need to come up with better names for all this. I think this will work though. Yeah. So now all I need to do is go into, is it not OpenCGD, it's in, is it App Manager? It's one of these things. Tracking backend. Okay. So if we go into, where is it? Oh, my eyes. We go into mouse tracker, copy path, app manager, and we set this as the kind of default backend. So var tracking backend, which is some sort of tracking backend, right? Load in this stuff, instance. So in theory, this should just work. Haven't tried it though. So, here it goes. It could just horribly break. Yep. Well, didn't horribly break. So that's a good sign. Oh, okay. Interesting. Method called failed with error, accessing from wrong thread. Expected thread ID 1, found thread ID 2. Oh, okay, interesting. So are you not able to, so if you're doing GD native stuff, are you not able to run, Yeah, are you not able to run GD native stuff on a thread? So, Godot, GD native thread. Hey. Not helpful. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, hello, Needle Mouse. I'm hearing you will suffer hell. Oh, please don't. Please don't hurt me. I'm too young to die. Oh, you know what? That's probably it, is that you cannot run... You cannot do this thing from a thread. Interesting. Interesting. But we can do this, which is function, just process. Let's see. So what I'm doing right now, Needle Mouse, is what I'm trying to do is implement mouse tracking just for this program. So instead of needing a webcam, this is kind of the expected functionality, is that you would have your mouse, and then the kind of farther out your mouse goes, the more the model will kind of try to look at it. Unfortunately, there will not be any mouth tracking or eye tracking because there's not enough data with the mouse, but that's the idea anyways. I'm trying to make that work. I have a lot of plans to do for my future of programming. I wish you a good luck. You know, programming is it's a lengthy endeavor, requires an okay amount of commitment, I think. I think actually finishing any program requires a huge amount of commitment, but you know, if you just want to toy around or help with other projects, it requires less commitment. I wish you good luck though. There's lots of good resources out there nowadays. Yeah. So hopefully it shouldn't be too hard. But who knows? Depends on, I guess it kind of also depends, like once you're able to wrap your head around how programming works, I think everything becomes a lot easier. That's at least how it works for me, is like there's that aha moment where everything kind of clicks, everything starts making sense. But until I hit that point, I'll usually just be really, really confused. It kind of worked. Trying to assign value of type object to, oh no, the variable of type tracking data. Alright, so that's bad. I think there's also just a hanging thread somewhere. It kind of worked. We're almost there. Mouse tracker data. Not quite what I was expecting, to be sure. Kind of worked though. It almost worked. Let's try that again. Hopefully I don't like run out of memory. He says as he has 32 gigs of RAM. Alright. Trying to assign value of type object to a variable of type tracking data GD. Something doesn't seem right there. I'm very young, going to go to high school next year after my last year in middle school. Probably shouldn't say that on Twitch, but isn't there an age restriction on Twitch? I'd be careful with that kind of talk. I'm very confident wanting the program. Most of your games and some programs for maybe for drawing some other stuff. Oh baby. Shouldn't give all my hopes up. Well, no, you're still very young at that point, right? you're still at the probably like the best time in your life to learn how to program, right? Like I think if you can teach yourself how to program at your current age, you're pretty much set up for not life, but you're set up to be at least with more experience than your peers, because it's just a lot of experience that you need to gain. You need to, there's only so much you can learn by just reading a book. That's what I believe. Unless you're just like one of those, you know, book learners, and then once you internalize everything that you read, you know it, you know how like everything interacts. I guess I have met people like that, but for me personally, it's more, you know, you bang two things together, see how they interact, and then you gain a greater understanding of it. You know, big caveman brain hours here. And so the earlier you start, the more experience you get with, you know, knocking code together and seeing how it interacts. You know, I only started learning how to program in like my last year of high school. But just imagine how much better of a programmer I would be if I started earlier. Yeah, it's hard to get into programming with my slowly vanishing memory. I'm still confident in programming though. Well, see, that's the thing, is that you only need to learn a very small subset of things. Everything else, you just need to be able to read really quickly. So I suppose programming won't really be your thing if you have like dyslexia. But fortunately enough, dyslexia is fairly rare. And if you do have dyslexia, then you can just use like a screen reader or something. So you have the computer read out your code to you. We do this. You think this will work? So is listening. Start tracker. Is listening is equal to true. I don't think this makes a difference, but stop receiver. Yeah, like I think my short-term memory is pretty bad. Like if you wanted me to memorize, you know, digits of pi, like I know 3.14159, 6 digits. I know 6 digits of pi. No, wait, that's not 6 digits. 3.14. Because isn't digits of pi, you start counting after the decimal? Anyways. I can only remember, like, if you gave me a minute to memorize digits of pi, I think I can remember, like, maybe 20. And then that's it. And I'm gonna completely forget it afterwards. Is it running? No, it's not running. Reference to a thread object was lost while the thread was still running. That seems worrying. Something doesn't seem right there. Going through it little by little, don't want to stress myself out along with the stress I have on myself with school. Yeah, that's understandable, right? I think something to remember is that, where I think here's some unsolicited advice, is that the amount of stress that you have only gets higher the older you get. Because you start taking on more and more responsibility. So like the common misunderstanding is that as an adult you have less things to worry about, or like when you go into college you have less things to worry about. And that's actually the complete opposite, right? I think something that lots of people don't really realize is that when you're in high school, you really only have 2 things to do, right? It's like 1, go to school, do homework, and 2, keep up with, I guess, your other stuff. I suppose also 3 if you have a job, but but you don't really need to take care of yourself all of that much, right? I mean, hopefully you already have a roof over your head. If you don't, I wish you luck. But once you go into college, or maybe not even college, you go straight into the workforce, right? Then you need to start worrying about your own schedule. You don't really have anyone like hounding you to do things anymore. Unless your parents aren't really in your life, then I guess you're already there. But what I'm trying to say is it just gets harder as time goes on. So it doesn't get easier. You just learn how to deal with it better. Planning to join the robotics club in my high school, so I might have a lot of time on my hands. Might not have a lot of time on your hands, or you might have a lot of time on your hands. Those two things are not quite the same. start tracker, on start tracker. Did I miss something here? Yeah. So you might have a lot of time on your hands. Okay, sure. That doesn't really make a lot of sense to me. I think what you meant to say was you might not have a lot of time. Right, because you are going to be in a club, right? So the club will take up a lot of your time because you're trying to do stuff. Unless that's not how that works. I don't know. I mean, I used to be, I think I've told this story before. I was in a robotics club as well. But I was not the greatest student since I wasn't as good as programming as the other people. So I was more the builder type. Very sad. Let's do all of this. Yeah, I meant that. Yeah, see, I knew what you were trying to say. See, you just gotta learn how to multitask. That's something that you can try to teach yourself now, is multitasking. Actually, you probably shouldn't try to teach yourself that. I think multitasking is something that a lot of people try to do, but most people are really bad at, myself included. But yeah, no, there's always going to be something in your life that is taking up more of your time. So learning how to prioritize which things are important to you is kind of a learned skill. You know, it's not something, I feel like it's something that people think they pick up, but lots of people don't really pick it up. Most people just kind of slowly start ignoring one of those things and then kind of wonder later on in their life, like, what happened to, you know, programming, or what happened to robotics? And oh, it's because I didn't manage my time well enough. You know, I think it's important to take track of which things you want to focus on and then, you know, focus on it. Yeah. Otherwise, you'll just kind of split yourself too much and then slowly fade out of one or the other without realizing it. I'm trying to figure out why this isn't working. So we run this again. I mean, this should just change. Yeah. And we stop tracker. I don't remember if the ooh, that doesn't look right. Yeah, that doesn't look right. Yeah. I can tell. Along with me procrastinating a lot is going to be a great help in my life. Well, I think the first step to solving that is acknowledging that you are a procrastinator. And then the second step is actually taking measures against procrastination. So some people like to keep a list of things that they would like to do. And then they, you know, they solve all that stuff, etc. On start tracker. Okay, hold on. If not is listening, then we'll do all of this. Yeah. Yeah, but anyways, if you want to get ahead of procrastination, what I think the common advice is to keep a list of things to do, and, you know, of course, keep the list fairly short, otherwise you'll procrastinate on the list as well. Another thing is to just, I don't know, I feel like what's helped me when procrastinating, you know, you might feel like you're, you know, super special, and, you know, hate to break it to you, but everyone procrastinates. You know, I think if you don't procrastinate, that actually makes you kind of weird. Almost everyone procrastinates. And there's many strategies to dealing with it. Me, the list thing used to help, but then I just kind of forgot about the list over time. So what helps me is to just finish one thing to completion. Try not to divert as much as possible. I feel like that's really helped me not procrastinate as much. So if you're going to do something, you should do it. Don't do it 50%. If you're gonna do something, do it 100%. Which has, you know, it's helped me and also, you know, not helped me so much because there was that semester at school where I just pretty much did not do any homework. You know, so it goes. So it goes. These things happen sometimes. It's not tracking now. Okay. Alright, well, at least it turns on and off, so that's cool. I don't know, man. Tracking backend, we don't need this. I know that this is probably giving me the correct data. I can verify this by just printing out the vector. Alright, yeah. Anyways, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Basically, procrastination is gonna happen. And you're always gonna be running out of time, so. You get less and less time the more things happen. This isn't working. Well, not stop reception. Did I do something wrong? Stop reception. I don't know. Let's open up OpenCFace GD, my kind of reference implementation. So stop reception. Let's see. Stop reception is false. Stop reception is false here. Sure. Stop reception. This shouldn't make a difference. Stop reception is equal to false. Otherwise, stop reception is listening is false. Stop reception is true. Huh? I shouldn't need to do this though. I want to learn C++ and maybe C2, so I'm trying to learn some math. I don't know if it will really help, but I can try. But I shouldn't really know what I should do next, because I'm trying to get a C# first. Once I go to a level of C#, I can try to learn a bit of other languages. I don't know. I feel like C and C++ are overrated. As someone who actually works in programming, you don't really need those. But that's just me. You know, unless you're trying to do like graphics, really advanced graphics, real-time stuff, then that's when you'll start needing the performance. But for most things that you'll be able to do at, you know, I guess a non-specialized level, right? Because remember, rendering is like its own kind of sub-field within programming. Not everyone does rendering. Almost nobody can do rendering. It's very specialized. Right. So unless you know that you want to go into doing like rendering and graphics programming, you don't really need to learn C and C++. If you want to, that's fine. But just know that I am absolutely trash at math. I'm very, very bad at mathematics, but I still do pretty well at programming, so I don't know. I mean, I guess you can make arguments otherwise, but you know, I'm pretty good at my job without being good at math, right? Because remember that the computer does all the math for you, so I think if you want to be a good programmer, you should focus on your reading comprehension skills. Being able to type out a sentence without making mistakes, being very precise in what you are talking about when you type, that will help you all out a lot more than being good at math when it comes to programming. Right? Because I suppose, like, if you were to look at this code here, how many numbers do you see? There's this number here. There's this number here. But this is just a counter. This is just running time. So I just increment by 0.1. And then this one's pretty easy math, right? This is just half to get the middle of the screen. Everything else, this is just, you know, reading comprehension, logic, which things flow into which things, right? Like this is the mouse position, sure. Then what are we gonna do with the mouse position? We're going to get the distance. And see, this is some math, but the computer does it for me. I see millions of numbers there. I think you might need to get some glasses because there are no numbers. I suppose there's the line numbers, but I don't ever read the line numbers unless I'm trying to figure out if there's a problem, right? There's no numbers here. That's the difference. Maybe it's like, oh, you know, it's like the Matrix movies. Oh, I don't see the numbers anymore. There are no numbers, basically, right? Programming is almost no math. That's a common misconception about programming. There's almost no math in programming. At least in terms of like, you know, I guess like non, you know, if you're doing like algorithms or like, you know, graphics programming, sure, maybe there's some math. But if you're just trying to do something that's useful, there's almost no math, man. Yeah, I you know, I guess vector 3, vector 2, but that's not math, that's just numbers. Which denotes different data structures. And data structures are just made up of more bits and pieces of data. So it's just understanding how things interact with each other, which is the important part. This is hard though. So this runs on a thread. If not is listening. Stop reception. Why isn't this working? This should be printing. Perform reception. For my first programming project is making a square, then making that square move, then boom, I have Unreal Engine graphics. Well, do I have news for you? That's pretty easy to do in Godot. Unless you're talking about writing your own rendering engine, which is very complicated. Right? Especially if you're doing it in like C++ or C. And you're just using like raw like Windows API graphics. I mean, that's gonna be pretty tough. You know? Just drawing a triangle. I know that if you were using a Vulkan backend, that's like 300 lines of code minimum to draw a triangle. Yes, torture is what I do to myself. I play bullet hell games. Well, one of those is fun. Bullet hell games are fun, I don't know. It's not torture. But I think if you're going that low level this quickly, you're going to get really discouraged. Like there's not a lot of point to doing that low level graphics, especially when you don't have a lot of experience programming. It's just kind of wasted effort. I guess like what would drawing a square using like Windows API, what would that teach you? It would teach you not to draw a square using the Windows API, I guess, and use something much higher level. Why isn't this working? Is this not actually hitting this? It is. Right, I can set a point here, and we can see that it'll print hello, but then the thread doesn't start. Right, because I should be seeing something being printed out there. Probably just the vector. right? It's either going to be an empty vector or nothing at all. So ASDF. Close this and then restart it, and then, yeah, see? So the thread's not starting. And I wonder if it's because I already have a Godot engine instance running. That's tough. That's tough. So what if instead of using a thread, we'll just, at least for now, we'll take this part out. And then start receiver. We'll just toggle something on and off, more or less. I actually got into the game dev and programming again because of the Toho project, Bullet Game series, and I was like, I want to make something like that. I'm happy I followed that. Now I love programming. Why don't you just try to make a Toho game then? A Toho fan game. Those games are actually fairly difficult to make, if you think about it, right? Because you have lots of bullets on screen. Each bullet has collision, and also kind of their own bullet pathing, right? So if you kind of think about how you would make that work, you actually have like a huge amount of just positioning that you need to keep track of on screen. So that would be, I guess, a good like intermediate project, I guess. Like graphically, it's not very complicated, but like keeping track of every single object on screen, very complicated, right? Because you can run into, you know, like lots of performance issues just because you need to keep track of every single collision box. So something more higher level like that, I would wholeheartedly recommend. Now, just drawing a square on screen using a system level API, probably not. Start receiver. Start tracker, we don't need this. Perform reception, also don't need this. Start tracker. Take out a lot of this. This is tough. It is very difficult. I never tried coding, but I can tell with the bullet patterns. Yeah, well, it's not, the bullet patterns themselves are not difficult to make work, right? Like, I mean, the bullet patterns work in the same, like a similar way to like these things work, right? You just attach like a movement script to them and then just execute it at some interval, right? The problem is making it work efficiently. Which sounds like something that you would be interested in, considering that you were talking about like low-level APIs, right? It's making it all work without also turning your game into a slideshow, aka like 5 FPS. But you know, stop moving me, bro. No. Get sense. Wow. Yeah, so like the movement isn't too difficult, but maintaining performance, like if you're interested in like lower level programming, that's a good place to start, right? Because you'll learn optimization techniques for, you know, making your code faster, run faster, etc. Because you know, like, do you actually need to attach, you know, a collision shape, or do you actually need to listen for physics on every single bullet? No, you don't. You actually only need to listen for collision when it's right next to your character. Therefore, you only need to process a small subset of all the bullets on screen, etc. Anyways, I think I'm gonna call it. I'm starting to lose steam. So yeah, thanks all for tuning in. I will be live on Sunday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time, working on probably a game. And yeah, you know, check out the Discord in the description below. A lot of these projects, OpenCFace GED, also made in Godot. This is available on my GitHub under the name OpenCFace GED, under MIT license. Just cut a new release today. And the stream avatars ask thing, also made in Godot. I think this is Apache 2 licensed, available on my GitHub as well. really low end PC, so I'd be careful with the stuff I'm doing. Don't want to make a house fire. I think it's very unlikely your PC will catch fire, but I would like to see you try. I think that kind of thing has not happened in a very long time. Anyways, yeah. Take it easy. Goodbye.